Hello students, your topic for today is scope and coverage of the Industrial Employment Act 1946. So the objects of the act are firstly to enforce uniformity in the conditions of services under different employers in different industrial establishments. Secondly, the employer once having made the conditions of the employment known to his employment workmen cannot change them to their detriment or to the prejudice of their rights and interest. Thirdly, with the express or written conditions of employment, it is open for the prospective worker to accept them and join the industrial establishment. Fourthly, for maintaining the industrial peace and continued productivity, the significance of the express written conditions of the employment cannot be minimized or exaggerated. The object of the Act is to have uniform standing orders in respect of matters enumerated in the schedule of the Act, applicable to all workers in respective of their time of appointment. There was a case Baruni Refinery Pragati Sheel Parisad versus Indian Oil Corporation. Then the Act extends to the whole of India and applies to every industrial establishment wherein 100 or more workmen are employed or were employed on any day during the preceding 12 months. Further, the appropriate government may, after giving not less than 2 months' notice of its intention to do so by notification in Official Gazette, extend the provisions of this Act to any industrial establishment employing such number of persons who are less than 100 as may be specified in the notification. However, the Act does not apply to first any industry to which provisions of Chapter 7th of the Bombay Industrial Relation Act 1946 apply, or second, to any industrial establishment to which provisions of Madhya Pradesh Industrial Employment Act 1961 apply. Notwithstanding anything contained in the said act, the provisions of this act shall apply to all industrial establishments under the control of the central government. Certified standing orders become part of the statutory and non contractual terms and conditions of service and are binding on both the employer and the employees. Apart from the above stated provisions of Section 1 of the Act limiting the scope, extent, and application of the Act, there are more sections that further limit the application